Welcome to the Happiness Alchemy podcast for magical women craving business, life, and spiritual growth. Stay with me to expand and empower yourself to live a life you love. Hi, and welcome to episode 2 of the Happiness Alchemy podcast. I'm Tracy Goody, your intuitive happiness coach, and today we are going to be looking at the energy forecast and how to best utilize the energy for January 28th, 2018 to February 3rd, 2018. What a beautiful week we have coming up. There is so much potential here, but also a lot of potential for uncomfort whenever we still have some things to work through. So we have the full moon eclipse coming up this week. We also have symbolic. So it's almost as though we have a new moon and a full moon put together. So things are illuminated. We're being asked to cleanse and clear, let go of what doesn't serve us, let go of what is hiding back our true nature, hiding back our potential, and at the same time plant seeds of creation and really start to nourish ourselves. So as we're looking at this week, the 3 cards that came up are Mother Mary, Nurture Yourself. And if you want to see visuals of any of this, you can just go to my website, tracygoody.com, and check out the blog, and you'll be able to see the visuals for all of this here too. So Mother Mary came up, Nurture Yourself. I'm using the Doreen Virtue card deck, Ascendant Masters. Ocean came up, drink more water, and Pan came up with fertility. And I love that these 3 cards came up. So we've really been called recently, since 2018 started, to really learn how to nourish ourselves, right? Because this is a year of balance. This is a year of allowing that divine feminine in, where a lot of us were off balance with the divine masculine before. So we're being called to really, really nourish ourselves in a different way. So a lot of us have been nourishing ourselves, but feeling self-judgment. I shouldn't have to rest this much. I shouldn't have to take care of myself this much. Or feeling guilt, like, oh, but this person needs this from me, this person needs that from me. No, it's about nourishment first, so you can show up as your best self. Or even some people are feeling shame around it. I do all this spiritual work, so why do I need to take this rest time? Haven't I transcended this yet? So we want to be nourishing ourselves, and we want to be caring for ourselves without that baggage. So again, this week we're being called to do that. So many of us are noticing, and again, especially since 2018 started, these higher frequencies. So we're spending more time in higher dimensions. And because of that, we need to find this balance of really grounding that energy down in a way that's practical, and so that we're not like up on a mountain meditating all day and, being in nature. Because our job is to bring this into everyday life, right? If we're just off in solitude doing that all the time, we're not really showing up completely as to who we are. Not saying that it's not okay to go off and meditate in a mountain and do all that. Absolutely do that. But there comes a time when you need to come back and integrate that into your life. And this is what it feels like we're doing right now. So this nourishing that you're called to is so very important to this process. So everybody wants to, move forward faster and faster, but the integration process is unique for everybody. So it's going to take different amounts of time for everybody. So just listen to your own call. There's no should. As far as it comes to self-care or grounding or things like that. It's what feels best to you and what feels best to you in the moment. Because again, this is going to change from week to week, from month to month, and year to year. So another thing that's coming up here too, and again, this is going off of those 3 cards that came up for this week from the Ascendant Masters deck, and that's Mother Mary, Ocean, and Pan. So another thing that's coming up whenever we're talking about self-nourishment and self-care is feeling compassion towards yourself and using that as a way to nurture yourself and nourish yourself. So feeling compassion towards ourselves, feeling compassion towards others. When we feel compassion towards ourselves, it kind of trickles out to others anyway. But that's another really great way to integrate this self-care into your everyday life. For example, like as you're going shopping, notice, what you're feeling about the other people that are around you. Send blessings to them, send compassion to them, and that comes back to nourish you as well. And it feels better. So that's how you know that it's nourishing and you know that you're on the right track. Okay, so again, coming back to this full moon, right? So we're really planting the seeds. And again, this goes back to Symbolic that's on February 2nd, so that falls on Friday. And that's all about planting seeds. That's all about spring cleaning. That's all about, getting ready for some freshness coming in, some fresh energy coming in. So as we're planting the seeds of our desire, and again, this is why I say it's kind of like a full moon, new moon combo this week. As we're planting the seeds of our desire, and so we should be getting nice and clear about what we want, you also want to think about what you don't want. It's such a beautiful combination this week with the full moon because it's illuminating like emotions and programs and stories and even like physical stuff that you have that you don't want anymore, that you don't need anymore, that doesn't match where you're at today. Starting to get rid of that stuff this week or continuing on, because I feel like a lot of you have been in the process of releasing this for a long time. So rededicate yourself to this process of clearing your space, clearing yourself emotionally, energetically, physically, clear it all up, rinse it all. And then, so that's the next step too, right? So whenever I'm talking about rinsing, now that could be actually washing up your space. It can be drinking extra water. A lot of you are going to need that. I know I've been called for having more water for all of January for sure. But again, water intake goes up, as well as getting your feet or getting your body in an Epsom salt bath or in natural water or in a beach or something like that. But if you're where I'm at in Canada, it's not possible to go out into natural water because it's frozen, right? So Epsom salt baths are a great way to substitute for that. I find it very, very nourishing and very grounding. But again, that is part of this whole growth process that we're doing this week. This whole process of getting clear about what we want, releasing what doesn't serve us, planting the seeds of desire by feeling these compassionate energies and nourishing ourselves, allowing ourselves to rinse ourselves clear with this water, and then getting ready for the magic that's coming out with it, right? So as we're planting our seeds and nourishing and watering and all that stuff, everybody's in a different stage here. So the things that you are planting, and what I mean by planting seeds is this could be business ideas, this can be transformations in your personal life, this could be creative ideas that you want to flow with. This can be all types of things, right? This could be buying a new house. It could go on and on, right? So we're not limited by, what we can create, right? So it's just about where you're at in the creation process. So maybe you are just starting to listen and open up to the whispers of, what source is guiding you to create. Or maybe you're just steps away from like launching it, or maybe you're in the process of expanding it and sharing it with the world. So it doesn't matter what stage you're at, the universe is going to meet you where you're at this week so that you can really hit the potential of this energy. So clearing up your space, getting clear about what you want, rinsing yourself clear, spring cleaning just in every sense of the word, and allowing yourself to flow beautifully with this energy is a magical way to really, really, really take advantage of that this week. So in addition to this energy forecast that we have for the week, I've also chosen 3 cards that can give you a little bit more of a direction on how to best use this energy specifically for you this week. So what I invite you to do, so you can do this one of 2 ways. You can either go visit my blog and just tune in for a moment, breathe into your heart for a moment, look at the images, which is the cards face down so you can't see them, and feel what one you feel pulled to, card 1, 2, or 3. Now, you don't need to be looking at the visual to get this. You can also just tune in from listening right now. Take a moment, take a breath, breathe into your heart. And then as you exhale, ask your heart, card 1, 2, or 3 this week. And just listen to the message that comes in. For the cards this week, I have chosen the Enchanted Map Oracle card deck, one of my absolute favorites by Colette Baron-Reid. I highly, highly recommend this. Okay, so you've tuned in, you've chosen if card 1, 2, or 3 is for you this week. fantastic. So I'm going to go through each card pretty quickly. So this is just giving more specific advice that works with the energy forecast I've just given for the week. So if you chose card number 1, it is the Solitude, card number 13, and that's reversed. So when this card is reversed, it's more so about starting to step out, starting to get visible. Your solitude time is coming to an end, and there's pieces of you that wants to hold on to it because it's comfy and it's safe. But there's a larger piece that wants you to get out. It wants you to expand. It wants you to realize you're not alone. You're not alone in the sense spiritually because you have all of this divine support. And you're also not alone as far as other humans and other people leading similar paths. They are out there. And if you feel alone right now, it is more important than ever to really expand. So you want to go out, you want to start to shift your perspective and say, you know what, there are people that are going down similar paths to me, and I'm open to connecting with them. I'm open to getting up and out of my house, to connecting with new people online, to allowing myself to be open to expansion and co-creation, and being open to what that might bring. So that is card number 1, if you had chosen that. Again, that's the Solitude, card number 13 reversed. If you chose card number 2, that is the Education card, number 35, and that is upright. So I find this so funny because Archangel Sandalphon has been coming up so much, just more than normal, I guess. And a lot of the message that I find he's bringing to people is to, number 1, continue learning what you feel called to learn, and number 2, start to teach and expand that message so that you can share it with more and more people and help this awakening, help bringing this light, help people to see that there's hope and there are ways to get through challenges. So I absolutely love his energy, and his energy comes through a lot in this card. So connection is a theme of this whole thing. So we can't become really the whole of who we are without co-creating with others. If you are just one person alone trying to, create a movement, that doesn't happen, right? You need to co-create with others, okay? You need to open yourself up to new perspectives, new teachings, go where you're guided to, and allow yourself to expand in ways that you didn't even know about yet. So you don't know what you don't know if you don't know it. So just kind of turning corners and being open to the miracles. Being open to saying things like, I am open to expanding. I am open to my highest potential. Thank you. Even if you have no idea where it's going to lead yet, just being a student of the universe and just following the flow of where you're being guided to, of what the universe is delivering to you, is a magical way to spend this week. Really, really beneficial if you chose card number 2. If you chose card number 3, it is Ride the Wave, card number 14, and that is also upright. And if you've seen this deck before, immediately upon looking at the image of this card, you can get a vibe for what it is all about. So it's basically a couple of dolphins on a wave with, it looks like a fairy on the back of one of them, right? Just free, just absolutely riding with the flow of the universe. It's pretty expansive. So it's very in the flow. It's like things are really starting to come together for you. And other things are starting to come together in a really unexpected yet guided way. Opportunities are coming out of everywhere. So feel into those opportunities. The ones that feel great and expansive, go for it. The ones that don't light you up, ignore. So you're in the flow, and now is when you continue to trust your intuition, continue to trust your heart, and continue to go where you are led. And that's how you're going to continue staying on this beautiful ride, this amazing path that you're on, okay? So just make sure that you're tuning into yourself, and just be open and challenge the universe. Say, how can it get any better than this? And see what magic you co-create. So that is card number 3. So again, you may have chosen more than one card that resonates with you this week, and that is fantastic. So if you feel called to, I would love to connect with you on Facebook, on Instagram, on social media, or if you want to, you can go ahead and check out my website, see if there's some free training that resonates there with you, including my How to Read Oracle Cards Like a Pro training. So that is it for episode 2 of the Happiness Alchemy podcast, and I will see you soon. Thanks for listening to the Happiness Alchemy podcast. If you know someone who would resonate with this message, please share this episode with them. Sending so much gratitude. Have an amazing day.